On this week's show, episode 7 of the Viral Nation, we're going to talk with Ricky Rogue. We're going to talk Supercross. We're going to talk Orlando 07 versus Orlando 21, and much, much more. Stay tuned for the Viral Nation.
Wake up at 5 a.m. Gotta be at the track at 10. It's time to ride. All of this anticipation to ride in the Viral Nation.
Hey, and welcome to episode number 7 of the Viral Brand. I want to thank you guys for tuning in again this week. I know I always say it, but it's really important to have you guys here, and we really appreciate the feedback and the comments down in the comment section and the thoughts, and we're going to get some of that today. But before we get there, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm always kind of pointing like right here, right? So subscribe somewhere right in here to our channel. Click the little bell so that you know when the next episode pops up. And be part of the Viral Nation. Make a comment below. We are going to talk a little bit here in a minute about a goggle giveaway, and there's going to be a few things that we're going to need to do that, and I'll get to that here in just a second. But just make sure that you subscribe, click the thing, and then if you have any questions or just want to make a comment, put it right down below. The more comments, the better, and it helps us with the growth of the show. So this week's Open, let's talk a little bit about age and being an old guy that raced motocross. I don't feel old, but I'm 50 some years old now and have been race Supercross for a while. One of the things as the generations come up is that each generation was so much faster than the generation before, and it's really, really interesting because not very often do we get a chance to see a track like Orlando where they actually replicated a track from 10, 20, 15 years ago or whatever. And they did that at the Orlando Supercross this weekend, and they had a replica of the 07 Orlando track, which was pretty cool. And for that, it's the last round that Carmichael was in, his last Supercross where Stewart won. If you haven't seen the race, a bit of a spoiler, so it was a while ago. But it was pretty awesome. So I kind of nerded out a little bit and took my time and decided to, and in all fairness, I saw a post about it first, and then instead of taking their numbers, I went to AMA, where you can go. If you go to the AMA website, you can go to their live timing, but you can then also go back to their archives, and it goes all the way back to 2003. And you can look at all the lap times, and you can look at their combined lap times and that kind of stuff. And I went through and I did that for the Orlando round, and I wanted to see, based purely on overall numbers, not the fastest lap, right? But the overall lap times for the entire race, what the averages were, and who would win based on the averages. And it's a pretty cool deal. All right, so let's go through those. Let's start with the 250 class. In the 250 class, overall, now this is a combined times, and we took into account overall combined lap times as well. So we're not taking the fastest lap, we're taking a combination and what their average lap times were. So for the 250 class, the 21 season is faster and considerably faster than the 07 season. And I saw some people on there online that were saying, hey, the track was different and it was much, the 07 track was way faster than the 21 track. Well, the 250 class doesn't prove that at all. Jet Lawrence is number one. He would have finished first overall on the combined track of 50.89, followed by Colt Nichols, followed by Christian Craig and Joe Shimoda, and that would be your top 4, all from 21. Then comes Brandon Jesselman. Jesselman won the 07 round with a 52.70. Ryan Marias then was 52.69. Darcy Lange, 52.64. Mike Alessi, 52.96. Then Mitchell Olenberg at a 53.25. And rounding out the top 10 would have been Justin Brayton in 07 in the 250 class with a 53.30. My point, the idea of this is just fun. It's kind of nerd. It's nerd motocross, right? Giving you taking these figures. Very rarely do we have this opportunity where tracks that were built supposed to be a replica track. You don't have that happen in Supercross very often because there's always new obstacles. There's always new things. But I will say this: it was pretty cool that they were able to do this and let us have a chance to kind of compare. Because you know the thing about it is that people all the time are saying, "Hey, my generation was way faster than the generation before." And then of course old guys like myself are always saying, well, wait a minute, we were pioneering the way the whole time, right? So but you look at these numbers and it's pretty interesting how these numbers played out. But now let's get to the 450 class. And this is really, really interesting. So we get to the 450 class. Now obviously most people probably would have expected the 21 to be much faster and to better technology, better motorcycles, and of course the talent level, of course, has to be so much better, right? Hold on a second. So we get to the 450 class, and let's look at who would have won Orlando combined. James Stewart with a 49.65, followed by Ricky Carmichael in second place with a 49.77. The 07 Chad Reed with a 50.72 would have, and then we get into, now those were all 07 riders, and then we get to Cooper Webb, who finished first in 21, but would have finished fourth combined between the 07 and the 21. Ken Roxon would have come in fifth. Barsha would have come in sixth. Now, if you saw the results, you know that Barsha got beat by Osborne. But since we're doing this specifically off of lap times, combined lap times, Barsha actually beat Osborne with a 51.15. Other than that one bobble, he actually had a faster lap times combined than Osborne. Osborne comes in seventh place with a 51.24, followed by Tomac in eighth with a 51.45, Tedesco with a 51.74. And this is interesting because Tedesco and Aaron Plessinger actually tied in lap times. Their combined lap times were identical, 51.74 to 51.74. But Aaron Plessinger ended up with a 15th place start at Orlando 21. And Tedesco started out in 6th place in 07. And with having combined lap times, that means that Tedesco would have beat Plessinger in the main event, and so we had to put Plessinger in 10th. But it's very interesting looking at these numbers, how these all break down, and you can see that you've got Carmichael, you got Stewart, Carmichael, and Reed, all 07 riders taking the top three, taking the podium spots. In the 250 class, you saw the 21 class faster than the 07 class, but the 450 class, let me tell you, if we could, there was that time machine thing, and you could drop Stewart and Carmichael and Reed 07 into 21, it would make an already crazy deep field even crazier. And I have a feeling that Stewart, Carmichael, and Reed would probably shock most of the people that think that today's riders are the fastest of the fast and the best of the best. Don't get me wrong. Today's riders are the best of their time. And that is something that will never be taken away from them. And it's really difficult to ever compare one generation versus another generation in racing. But I will say that it was a lot of fun to be able to look at Orlando from that standpoint and then bring it and put it into paper and put it together like this. Very, very cool. So this week's Instagram photo of the week is going to be Trevor Holen. And we want to thank Trevor or Trevor's mom, Vanessa, for getting us this photo, and he is our Instagram photo of the week. Coming up next, we are going to talk Supercross 2021. Not going to look back. We're going to talk Supercross 2021 right after this commercial break.
Our 2021 Comp Series Goggle Collection was inspired and designed by Rockstar Energy and a 2019 Nitro World Games Super Hooligan Flat Track Champion, Andy DeBrino. Andy brings his unique design and inspiration with his new Signature Series goggle to the Viral brand for 2021 and beyond. Our 2021 Comp Series goggles has some outstanding features: outriggers, soft flex frame, 50mm sublimated strap, one run of non-slip, and the best fit in the industry for any goggle under $40. If you're looking for Viral brand goggles, check out shop.theviralbrand.com or find a dealer near you. Isn't it time you go viral?
All right, so we are back, and you know, Supercross in 2021 has been a really, really good start to the season. Great parity in the 450 class. 250 class is starting to kind of wash itself out. There's been a lot of attrition in that class. And let's talk 250s here really quick. We're going to kind of brief over it. I think most people probably watched it. These are just kind of my takes on it. But I will say, Christian Craig, gutsy ride for Christian to have a pretty good get off. Obviously hurt his hand. Don't know what the extent of that is, broken bones or bruising or whatever it is. But when everything that you do goes through the handlebars, through your hand, through your wrist, right? Any injury in this area of your body, and especially the throttle side, man, you are asking for a really long day. And for Christian to come away and to have that big crash, go through the LCQ, very much like what Jet Lawrence had done the previous weeks, and then to put himself on the box, absolutely amazing. That was just an awesome ride. Colt Nichols, great ride, very well controlled, did what he needed to do, didn't really pull a ton of points on Christian, but at the same time, didn't lose any points to anybody. So that was a good weekend for him. Jet Lawrence with just a very solid performance all the way around. Not a lot of excitement. I mean, it was a great race, but not a lot of excitement in the 250 class this week. But you know, everyone kind of finished where I think people were kind of expected them to finish. Lawrence was right up there. Nichols, Craig, Shimoda, obviously fit right, and then Mitchell Ohlenberg rolling out the top five. As you start getting deeper, you start getting the names that aren't super well known. Veraz out of Paris, California, the 241 with a 6th place. Awesome ride for that guy. Kevin Moran's in the number 7 spot. Osby in 8. Hunter Schlosser with a 193, finishing there in 9th. Logan Carnow finishing there in 10th. And you know, just a ton of guys that are really starting to break into that top 10 a little more on a consistent basis. That's pretty cool. So at this Orlando, we got a chance to see Chris Howell back on the starting line. He rode 450 for this round, made the night show. In his qualifier one, he was gated right next to Shane McElrath, which was great to see McElrath come back in the 450 class. And went on, powered it through, went through the LCQ, had a pretty decent ride in the LCQ. Wasn't able to put in the main event, but going into next round, it'll be the 250 West class, and we'll see Chris on the 250 West putting it in the main events and hopefully running there towards the top 10 for the 250 West class. Let's move into the 450 class, and again, some really good rides this weekend from the 450 guys. Cooper Webb, obviously on fire. Watching the races and listening to the commentators, you know, they talked about Cooper and how he's kind of getting on a roll. I kind of agree with them on that part of it. Coop is a kid that once he kind of gets that underneath his belt a couple times, he becomes very difficult to beat. You saw it in 19 when Coop came out, and it was like his race. It was his championship to lose, almost from Anaheim 1. Like just the energy and everything around Coop was all about. It was his championship to lose, and that's, I really feel that's kind of starting to, that momentum switched a little bit, I think, in Orlando. Not that Kenny rode bad. Kenny was right there the entire time. But you let Coop win a few times and you're going to be in trouble. And there's a lot of racing left. Kenny doesn't have a huge lead, So it's hard to see what's going to happen, but it does make it very interesting because I hate seeing runaway championships. It's not a lot of fun. So Roxon obviously with a solid second. Osborne, great moto. Kind of, everyone gets a gift. I mean, every once in a while, and I've said this probably every single podcast. It's better to be lucky than it is to be good sometimes. But when you combine the luck and the good, you get really great results. And Osborne was in the right place at the right time, was having a great battle. He had run down Barcia. Those two were battling it out, and Barcia made that mistake. Come off the bike, had to run next to his bike for a while, lost one position to Osborne, and Osborne put it on the box. So it was great to see Osborne on the back box. Barcia with the save of the night, obviously. That was a pretty cool deal. Tomac, the Achilles heel of Tomac from day one has been starts. And a couple years ago, he could go through traffic all the way directly to to win the moto, and that was when he was having the most winningest rider and all that stuff. But he started out in 11th place, and with the parity in this class and how fast this class is, it is really, really tough for him to move forward during that time, and was only able to get up to 5th place. I will say though that if you look at Aaron Plessinger started in 15th, right? Great ride for Plessinger. He is really, I've said this before, but I really like Aaron Plessinger. I think he's a great guy, stand-up dude. Every time I've had any interaction with him, he's been super nice. And in the last couple of years, he just really struggled with the 450, and the look of him riding, the bike setup, the way the bike works, he just looks so much better across the board, and his results are really showing it. As much as 6th place in the main event in the 450 class, some people were like, oh, he sucks. Man, there's a lot of people in this world, like a lot, that would love to be able to get 6th place in a 450 main event, especially in 2021. And Aaron is riding exceptionally well, so really good for him. Musquin with a 7th, Anderson with an 8th, which I thought Anderson looked a lot better this round than he has the first few rounds. His heat race win was awesome. He was on fire. Anderson, again, got a 12th place start, so not, in this parity, if you're not getting good starts, you're going to have a hard time being up front. Osborne with the whole shot, right? Great start, finishes on the box. Roxon with a 3rd, Webb with a 4th place finish. Bummer for Justin Brayton. That first lap, man, he was right in the mix, kind of got freight trained, ended up dropping way back, but still awesome to see a 36-year-old guy out there, throwing it down each and every weekend. Malcolm Stewart, Adam Cicerillo, Justin Brayton, Dean Wilson. Wilson struggled with that foot, but was able to keep it inside that, keep it in the main event and put in a pretty solid ride. Shane McElrath, that was pretty awesome to see Shane back in action. Great heat race. Showed that he has the speed to run up front. I think he qualified like 6th or 7th, right in there. He was in B qualifier to boot, so he didn't have fast guys to jump on with and figure out his timing and that kind of stuff. He just went out there and laid down fast laps. The guy's got speed. As he starts to mature in the 450 class, you'll start seeing that guy move farther and farther and farther up. No incidences from Vince Freeze. It was really interesting watching all the different people come down on Vince last week after the deal with Barcia, and then people dissected it. And honestly, I will have to say that I have a little bit different view on it after watching a bunch of different things on it. I still think Vince should have known where he was at, even though he was racing for position. He was kind of by himself. His pit guy should have let him know who was coming up behind him. So I'm going to place, I've decided that I'm not going to place all the blame on Vince. I'm not going to place all the blame on Barcia because he should have not tried to make that pass right where he tried to do it at. But I will just say that it was nice to see Vince not be a factor this week. And other than that, 450 Supercross has been really, really awesome. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Ricky Rogue and learn a little bit about his Classic X that's coming up and much more. So come back right after this commercial. Don't leave. Stay tuned.
2021 Factory Series Goggle Collection was inspired and designed by Rockstar Energy and 2019 Nitro World Super Hooligan Champion, Andy DeBrino. And he brings his unique design and inspiration along with his all-new Signature Series Goggle to Viral Brand for 2021 and beyond. Our engineers used our soft flex frame, 4 layers of face foam, outriggers, and a 50mm strap to give you the most comfortable goggle in the industry. For more information, check out shop.theviralbrand.com or find a dealer near you. All right, guys, we are here today with Ricky Rogue, and we're going to learn a little bit about more. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about him, but we're going to learn a little bit more about Ricky here in just a moment. We're trying to get him online right now, so just give me a minute. We'll get Ricky online. Hang on just one sec. Hey, Ricky, are you there? Hey, Ricky, are you there?
8 de la mañana con 31. Buenos días.
Hello, Ricky.
Con su compa el Bronco. Mucho cuidadito al manejar, mi gente. Váyanse reportando a través del WhatsApp.
Hey, how's it going?
Is this thing working?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hold on. Jorge! Jorge! Turn that shit off! Yep. Hey,
This is going to be interesting.
hey, Steve.
It's Scott. How's it going, Ricky? How you doing today?
Scott. Good. Good. Great as always.
Awesome. So,
I'm not getting this freaking phone thingamajigger. I had to borrow this device from Jorge. Reception's not too good down here in Tijuana, but we're making it happen.
okay. Well, yeah, your guy called me and said that you wanted to be on the show today, and we're excited to have you here. But so I guess you're going to need to explain a little bit about what's going on. Who's Ricky Rogue?
Who's Ricky Rogue? Is that a serious question? Are you really asking? Hold tight. I gotta get this thing off. All right, there we go. Gotta take care of your sponsors, right?
Take care of sponsors.
Who's Ricky Rogue? Well, let's see. I'd just hop on that interweb thing. I'm sure you could probably find all about Ricky Rogue. But Ricky Rogue is probably one of the most dominant dirt bike racers of all time. I mean, never really had a chance to prove that. I mean, except that one time at Sugarbush, another time at Glen. What was that place called? Greg. I always get that. Greg Helen.
You mean Glen Helen? You mean Glen Helen, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe that was what it was.
Okay, yeah.
There, I also had a pretty good run at Armadillo one year. Yeah. So if you want to know more about the Roadster, call up that little twerp Scott Burnsworth down in SoCal.
Oh yeah.
He'll tell you about the Roadster.
Well, I was gonna say because I did a little research. I tried to look you up, and I didn't find a whole heck of a lot. Last time there was anything about a Ricky Rogue was like 1980 something.
Well, yeah, that was when the Roadster took a little bad spill. Yeah, this is a rough one for Ricky to talk about. See, Ricky had a good buddy named Antoine James. And Antoine, naturally, he's black. I mean, Antoine, right? What white guy's name Antoine? So Antoine shows up to the track with his 6 freaking kids. He's only 16, but already has 6 kids. Anyways, this cute little, I don't know, nappy head kid comes up to me. His name was James too, I think. Always chewing bubble gum, so I called him Bubba. So
Okay.
anyways, Antoine could race. The dude could flat out haul balls, but couldn't jump. So Ricky, being the humble guy that Ricky is, decided to teach James, or he always wanted to be called James, Antoine James, AJ. I taught him a new jump. Stay low to the ground, because we know black guys can't jump on dirt bikes. I mean, they can do hoops and all that, but they can't jump on dirt bikes. So the Roadster teaches Antoine this new
Yeah, hey,
Who
hey, Ricky.
rode the
I'm
damn
gonna
jump?
stop. I'm gonna stop you here for a second. I don't think you can say black guy anymore. I think it's African Americans.
How about Negro?
No, I don't think we should. I really don't think we want to. This is a family show, right? So we want to make kind of keep it. We want to keep it kind of PC a little bit. So
PC. Okay, PC.
yeah. So
All right.
so tell me a little bit. So tell me a little bit about you were teaching him how to jump. Is what you're telling me.
Yeah. So Ricky's colored friend could he couldn't jump on this dirt, but he could go fast. So like teaching this low state, and you gotta get sideways kind of thing. Anyways, he was getting this thing down, and Bubba, this cute little nappy-haired kid, dude, this kid was 1.5, maybe 2 years old. The kid could huck a P-dub. I mean, at one, can you believe that? Totally advanced. So Ricky's getting his dirt bike washed by some hot blonde, and Antoine and Rogue we're trying to figure out what to call this sweet jump. It's actually not even a jump. But anyways, and my gal is washing the bike, and little Bubba just keeps saying, scrubbing.
Okay.
It was a little awkward for a 1-2-year-old to be looking at a blonde in a bikini washing a dirt bike saying scrubbing. But then me and Antoine just go, scrub. So we called the bike the scrub. Long story. What?
So you're telling me that you come up with the term scrubbing for a African American who raced motocross, who went on to be the greatest motocross racer of all time?
Well, correction. Well, anyways. Yes, technically, yes. We called it the scrub. I guess little Bubba Gum James, I guess he's the one that brought the name up first. But we rolled with it. And
Okay.
anyways, while I was perfecting it, this some bitch named Steffin Meters, son of a bitch guy, freaking had the nicest everything. Rode a YZ, pimp ass van, little truck. Steve Miles, I don't know, something like that. That son of a bitch. Oh, pardon me. That some bitch. I guarantee you, he put a rock in the rut where Ricky was perfecting the scrub.
Yeah.
That sent me over the bars. Next thing I know, 30 years later, I woke up to this hellhole.
So
That's why I'm in. That's why Ricky's in Tijuana.
So you've been in a coma for 30 years.
Something like that.
Wow. Well, I'm really sorry to hear about that. So
Well, the good news about it is my hair grew to proper length. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed this, but look at that. Can you see that chest hair?
That is amazing. Okay.
Badass. It's
All
badass.
right.
That
So-
was not there back in the day. Now it's there. So my manhood is beyond anything that you could imagine. You should see me race the CR 500. Speaking of CR 500, there's going to be a 500 race I hear up in your neck of the woods.
Oh yeah? What race is that?
I got a letter the other day and opened it up, and there's this big little flyer thing in it. And it's called the 500 Nightmare Race
Oh,
at the Fossil Bowl in Clarkia, Idaho.
wow. So
500
now,
Nightmare Race.
I will say. So what I did find a little bit about. I don't. Does the name April Zastro mean anything to you?
Excuse me?
April Zastro. I had done a little research, and she's out of Boise, I believe. And I know you're talking about the 500s, but I just tell me a little more about your experience with April.
Okay, I don't know why you went there, but since you did, I thought we had a mutual friendship, respect going on here. But okay, yeah, since you want to talk about April Zastro, Yeah, Ricky had a little bad experience down in Boise at the Racer X Vintage Interam thingamajigger. Okay, look, yeah. So a chick got on the freaking track with the Roadster. Like, I was going to take it easy on her, right? Right? It's a babe. I mean, she's got a waist like this big. You know, I mean, she's like. Long story short, there was a lot of ground squirrels out that day, and it distracted the Roadster big time. I think there was even a flying squirrel. I could not. Ricky could not keep his attention span. Yeah, the chick ended up taking the race. Not really happy about that, and it's not going to happen again.
So you're telling me that Ricky Rogue got beat by a girl?
Listen, Steve.
Scott, but thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I guess you could say yes. Okay. On paper.
On paper.
Okay. There's a lot of.
I get that.
Ricky had the lead at some point. So, okay, I'll tell you this right now. All right, I'm sick of this. We're not going to talk about the past. We're going to talk about the future.
Okay. All right.
Listen, there's a race coming up in some town called Kuna, Idaho.
Okay.
On May 15th, 16th, right down the road from Little Boise and Little April's Astro. In fact, it's a rematch. I challenge that Zastra. Ricky challenges any chick. Ricky's going to up the ante. Any chick or any tranny to a dirt bike race Saturday, Kuna, May 15th. And if any chick, any tranny could beat the Roadster on Saturday, Sunday, your moto's paid for.
Really?
And a foot massage.
And a foot massage. Okay. All right. We're getting deep today.
When the Roadster takes down all these chicks and trannies on Saturday, every one of them better line up, get the oil out, and start massaging the Roadster's feet. Skyline MX, Kuna. Jorge! He's gone. Kuna, Idaho, May 15th, 16th.
All right. Is that part of that Classic X series? Is that what that is, or?
Class X. Yeah,
Class
I think
X?
it's something like that. That rings a bell.
Okay.
You know what? My uncle Andy, back in the 70s, he was a big time wrestler.
Oh, okay.
And this actually reminds me of something. Not only, I mean, Roadster doesn't do anything mediocre. Well, I'm going all out on this. Not only will I hate it when I say that, when Ricky decides to do something, he does it the best and better than anyone. Saturday night, not only will, after all the chicks get whooped and trannies, the Roadster will challenge any chick or tranny to a mud wrestling match.
Man, you're kind of throwing down the gauntlet, don't you think?
Hey, you know what? You know, nobody's promised tomorrow. You know what? It's, live today. Wow, what did that James Dean guys? Anyways, yeah. So we get one shot at this.
All right.
Ricky will challenge any chick, any tranny, not only to a dirt bike race, but mud wrestling match Saturday night.
All right, man. Well, that's good stuff. So tell me, what qualifies you to be at this level? I mean, how did you get to that level? Because I mean, I raced in the 80s. I remember a little bit about a Ricky Rogue, but
What qualifies? Well, first of all, when I showed you my chest hair, right? You saw that. That's the first step. You said this was a family show?
oh, absolutely.
Okay, so Ricky will not show you the size of his, manhood. If you saw that, you would understand.
Okay, got it.
What qualifies the Roadster to race at this level, this quality of level of racing. That's why the Roadster is on a 500. Do you have a 500?
I have had a 500. I have had a 500.
Had. Okay. Anyways, what's the next topic?
So so you're going to be in Boise. Any other races you're going to be around that where people can show up and maybe challenge you to a race or mud wrestle?
Well, the warm-up race will be that again at that Racer X Inter-Am in April. Yeah, so that's a P&W VMX kind of thing race. I get all my information through the stack of letters that all my fan clubs send me. So I think it's April something, not Zastro, April, the month April. Yeah, that's the Racer Inter-X. That's where we get started. Then over that CUNA thing in May.
You got a chance to race again, Scott Wallenberg. Then are you a Wallenberg? You know about Scott Wallenberg from racing?
Oh, Wally.
Oh yeah.
Does the Roadster know Wallenberg?
Just
Him
check.
and those stupid ass 120 vintage 125s. Son. All right. Let Ricky digress. Yes, and they're not stupid. Ricky loves 125s. Just every time Ricky rides a 125, he blows it up.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, those things can't handle this type of power. So yeah, I know Ricky knows Wallenberg. We've tangled a few times. Kind of like what the Roadster did to that Scotty Burnsworth guy, that SoCal guy. I gave Wallenberg a stiff arm. Roadster used to play football back in the days.
Okay.
Yeah, and Pee Wee's. Ricky was a all conference nominated running back. So Ricky, I just stiff armed that sumbitch a couple times. You could ask him about it.
So did you ever have a chance to play in Scott's band? You play the cowbell?
Oh, the cowbell. Speaking of, well, hold on a second. No, that's been done before.
That was a cheap shot, man.
I'm glad you brought up the band because I'm a little and Wallenberg. Ricky tried out for his band and he doesn't have a harmonica player.
Oh.
Now the Roadster is one of the greatest harmonica players on the planet Earth. I don't know if you know this, but I wrote Steve, I wrote you a song.
It's Scott, but go right ahead.
I wrote that for you, buddy.
That was pretty impressive. Okay.
Thank you.
You know, I was doing a little more research, and I did run across one other name that really kind of surprised me. You know, there was a nice lady out of Montana that I read about too, named Teresa Rowe. And again, you know, starting to learn about you and you know, kind of your background. It kind of surprises me that these names keep popping up.
Where are you getting this damn information at, Scott?
It's just I look on the internet. It's been around. It's called Google.
All right. Well, okay. Oh, yes. There was another incident up in Helena, Montana at the 32-1 Premix Classic where some Fraggle Rock looking chick with bulging freaking muscles, telling you, dude, she's freaking buff. She challenged the Roadster. And, you know, not everybody has perfect days all the time. Okay, it just doesn't happen. Well, Roadster got Roadster had a new sponsor that weekend, Prickly Pear Brewery, something like that, and drank maybe just a little too much the night before. Yeah, so in the middle of the race, the Roadster had a nature called. So yeah, had to go, could not hold it any longer. Roadster's a little up there in the age, not a spry teenager anymore. So, you know, when you got to go, you got to go. So Ricky had to take a pit, you know, drain the main vein, and Tressa ended up taking the race.
Wow. So that's two women that have done damage.
damage, I guess you could say. Yeah, I mean, bent but not broken. The Roadster, bends. He never breaks. Just remember that.
All
And
right.
you can bring that Tressa chick to that CUNA race. I don't care about her bulging muscles and standing on balance beams while she does curl workouts. I'll take her in the wrestling match. She's going down. She can bring her tranny friends along with that Zastro.
Okay.
Sorry. I've only had one cup of.
Let's bring this back a little bit. So,
Sorry.
what is Ricky Road riding right now? What's your motorcycle of choice that you ride today in 2021? Year of the 4-strokes, year of the electric start, year of the fuel injected, never miss a beat motorcycles.
All right, this is blasphemy talk right now. Okay, all right, we just calm down, Scotty. Calm down. So of course the Roadster still rides his '87 CR250. That's the go-to.
Okay.
That's the go-to. The 500, Ricky brings that out for show. Make all the chicks get all excited. Because that's what they do when you bring out the big 500, because they know what's going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So yeah, Ricky dabbles with the 500, and then loves to play on the 125. That little dream thing that goes up there at Washougal.
Yep.
That is a wonderful race. So the Roadster went up there last year.
Hold on a second. Hang on
Okay.
a second.
Esenciales a toda la gente de la basura.
Hey, Ricky.
Anda chambeando a los deliveries, a los choferes.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
We're back.
I love this song. Okay, sorry. Hey, next time that technical difficulty crap happens, Ricky always comes prepared. I got the old VHS camcorder right here. What we'll do next time, we'll set this thing up. And then I'll take the tape out, mail it to you.
Okay.
And then you do one, mail it back to me. We got it all figured out.
That would be great, because that camera looks like it weighs about 80 pounds.
Dude, try strapping it to your helmet, bro.
I bet.
Dude.
So
That's why
we were
that's why
talking.
the Rogue got a neck like this.
Difficulty. We were talking about the bike of choice. You said that you like the 125. You ride the 250, 1987. You have a 500. So tell us about your gear. I mean, are you modern geared? Are you kind of stuck in the 80s, man? What's the deal?
Yeah. Well, dude, modern gear is, well, let's admit it's pretty gay. If you look there, I mean, in the 80s, we had real men, okay? Real men of character and of respect. People like O.J. Simpson, Bruce Jenner, Freddie Mercury. I mean, these guys were, men of stature. And I come up here today, this crap, and all these motocross kids running around. They're wearing all this pink and neon green. No, Ricky does not wear modern gear.
Okay.
Stefan, you got to figure this out. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
All right. So I hate to say this, man, but I'm running out of time. So tell us what you got coming up next for Ricky Road. Where are you going to be? What's going to happen? How can we find you? If someone wants to figure out how to get a hold of Ricky Road, do you even have social media? Do they got to send you a letter in the mailbox? I mean, how do they?
Well, my buddy Jorge, I'm down in Tijuana right now, so it's a little difficult to just getting this reception was pretty hard. I had to drive up to the top of a mountain. So Ricky's got a lot of stuff going on. That Nightmare thing's going to be freaking awesome. The Racer X thing, awesome. Pilot Rock with being a lot of things going on. The Tropicana girls, they got a little event going on over in Honolulu. Ricky's going to partake in that, as he always does. But let's see. Fossil Bowl thingamajigger, 32-1 premix in Helena. Oh, there's like this other race going to happen in Boise in October. So yeah, going to be down there for that Class X thing in October. And yeah, that's going to be another 500 race classic, all that. If you notice, everything's going back to the classics. Have you noticed that?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. This episode, we actually even talked about age, ageism in racing and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of good to have Ricky Rogue on today talking about this kind of stuff.
Ageism.
Yeah,
that has nothing.
Every generation thinks that they're faster than the last generation.
Well, first of all, speaking of, what kind of shorts do you wear? You talked about modern
long shorts. That's my knees.
Oh, gay. You got to get it. This is the main thing. I mean, did you ever watch Magnum PI?
Yeah.
Did Tom Selleck ever wear long shorts? No, you got to show those thighs off, Scotty.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you. How many kids do you got?
I got 3 kids.
All girls.
2 girls and a boy.
Ah, see, I guarantee you the boy's the oldest, and that's back when your shorts were the shortest.
He's the youngest.
Damn it. All right, never mind.
Keep trying. It's good. I do appreciate it. Hey, Ricky, I do want to take this. One last thing. I got one quick question for you.
Yeah.
I did hear that you had you've lost to April. You've lost to Teresa.
Tressa. Fraggle Rock.
Tressa. And now
she's got that.
What about Ronnie?
Huh?
What about Ronnie? What about my buddy Ronnie Mack?
Oh, well, Ronnie and Rogue have we've got a special relationship. Rumor has it we might even have be related.
I can see that.
We're trying to figure that out. The Roguesters never raced Ronnie.
Oh.
Last time Roguester saw Ronnie was at a petting zoo in Arkansas. Things got a little weird. Okay, let's just say that. Ronnie took it to the next level. Roguester has not talked to Ronnie much since then, but rumor has it the Maxter Ronnie uncle, I can't believe he's an uncle now. He was always a little twerp running around when I knew him. He's going to be at this Possible Nightmare race thing, July 16th, 17th, 18th, something like that. Rumor has it. So the Roguester's got to get a hold of a couple of his Coyote buddies, cross the border back into the States, and get up north where you're at. So, yeah, so that's what's going on. So, yeah, if he's happened to see Ronnie, let him know. His second, third, sixth, ninth cousin removed sends him love.
All right. If we talk, I will definitely send him your regards, considering you guys are cousins and I just know him. But that's we'll do that for you. So
yeah, sounds good.
Hey Ricky, we want to thank you for taking the time to join us today on the Viral Nation. And I think I may try to make my way out to Kona just to see you in action.
Well, oh yeah, definitely. Make sure you do that. Kuna, pilot, yeah, anywhere. Ricky's always in action, so you can see Ricky moving, making things happen whenever you're in the vicinity. So make sure you do that. Call, beat, text, write, do whatever you got to do to let us know.
Right.
You always get a hold of the Tropicana girls. They reach out to me frequently. So send a message to the Tropicana chicks. They'll reach out to me. That's usually the best way for Ricky to get information.
Awesome. Well, awesome. Well, hey, again, thanks again. And if you guys have a chance, check out Classic X. We're going to have a link down in the description here on our YouTube channel, and we will have more information coming your way. We want to thank Ricky Rogue for joining us today.
sorry, were you talking?
His own guy. So let's make sure. So his views and his opinions are his on his own, and we do not condone or deny him any of his thoughts. So thanks a lot again, and we will see you soon, Ricky.
Stay hungry.
Hey, Ricky, we want to thank you for coming on the show today. We appreciate having you here. And for more information on the Classic X, click down to our link in our bio here. There'll be more information, a link you can click on if you're interested in learning more about that. Go ahead and do that. So thanks again, Ricky. We will see you guys soon. Hopefully we'll come out to that round out there in Montana. Today we don't have a quick hit, but what we're going to do, we're going to do a mailbag today. This is from James Furtado, and pardon me if I didn't get your name quite right, James. James wrote down in our comments last issue, and he wanted to talk a little bit about my background running a team with the Barn Pros. I ran the team from 2014 to 2017, and 3 of those years we had a semi, and put together a pretty good team, had a great time doing it, and wanted to. So I think what we're going to do is, instead of me just trying to go through the entire history of Barn Pros, what I'm going to do is talk real quickly about kind of how the team formed today, and then in upcoming episodes of the Viral Nation, we'll continue to talk a little bit about the Barn Pros experience, because it was really awesome. And if you ever want to get a really cool behind the scenes feel for the 2017 season, we have what's called the BPR project that was done by M66 Productions in association with Mad City Media. And Mad City Media is the company that helps produce this podcast. And we, because I'm part of that deal, put together a really cool docu-series that kind of documented the entire series from before Anaheim 1 all the way through the 125 Dream Race at Washougal. So there will be a link down here below where you can find those videos if you want to check it out. But let's talk a little bit about how BPR got started. And because of BPR, Viral Brand Goggles was born because of that. And we'll get to that here in just a second. Barn Pros Racing, I was like any other dad that was looking for sponsorship for my son. My son Ryder was able to become a pro rider. He worked his way up to getting a Yamaha support ride. He raced outdoor nationals. He did Supercross, made a main event, but unfortunately got hurt along the way. But at the time when Barn Pros started, Steve Oslin, who's also the business partner in Viral Brand Goggles, he had been sponsoring some local guys with a team and helping them get to some Supercross races. I had heard about him and knew a little bit about him through just going to the track and stuff like that, through actually Ryan Villapoto, but Ryan Abrigo, and reached out to Steve, went out, had lunch with him, and was able to put a little deal together for my son for 2014. On that season, we had 3 Northwest riders that raced for the team. We had my son rider Steffy, we had Chris Howell, and then we had Connor Elliott. And that year we had a lot of success in 2014. Unfortunately, my son got hurt in Anaheim 1. He was in C qualifier. I think he was second on the board in C qualifier. Knocked himself out, had a heck of a concussion, and was all the way out until Seattle 14. Connor made a bunch of main events that year. Chris Howell made a bunch of main events that year. And we kind of really kind of gelled as a team. Even though we didn't have a semi, we just had a bunch of easy ups in a toy hauler, and had a huge presence at the Seattle Supercross. That round rider went on to make the main event that night. I think Chris crashed out. I know Connor crashed out that night as well. But Ryder made the main event, which was pretty cool. Ended up having some issues in the main event, but was able to put it in the main event, which was pretty cool. After that season, I had come to Steve and said, hey, why don't we lease a semi? I knew the guys from OTSFF up in Canada, and I knew that he had some rigs laying around, semi-trailers and stuff, and I said, well, how about we lease a trailer for a year and see what you think? Steve's a pretty funny guy and decided that instead of leasing one, he'd just go out and buy a semi-trailer, which he did, and bought a semi, bought a tractor, and we brought back the entire team for 2015. And that was kind of the start of the Barn Pros experience. That year I was kind of the pseudo team manager. 2014, I was helping my son mostly, did some marketing stuff for Steve, really helped blow up the Seattle round. We were able to get our bikes down on the track for some track stuff. They talked about our bikes. They interviewed Ryder after the LCQ or for the LCQ, and a bunch of fun stuff happened for that weekend. Steve and I kind of collaborated going into 14 or into 15, and we were able to then turn around and get the semi up and running and start to build out our program for our 2015 season. That's kind of how the Barn Pros experience started. In up-and-coming episodes of the Viral Nation, we're going to talk more about Barn Pros and how it started, how that led to the Viral Brand Goggle business, and much more. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the Goggle of the Week.
All right, this week's Goggle of the Week is going to be our Comp Series Red Goggle. 50 millimeter strap, single run of non-slip. We run outriggers. We run a tinted lens, soft flex frame, 2 layers of foam, plus the wick layer for 3 layers of foam, all for $39.99. There isn't a better goggle on the market with these features for under $40 than the Viral Brand Goggle. This goggle will do everything that you want it to do and more at a budget that everybody can afford. Head over to your dealership or go to shop.theviralbrand.com today to pick up your Goggle of the Week, the Viral Brand Comp Series Red. This week's Dealer of the Week is going to be, that's right, Bellevue Motorsports out of Bellevue, Washington. Bellevue has been a longtime dealer of ours. They carry a full line of our products, lenses, tear-offs, hats, gear, you would name it, they've got it. Head over to Bellevue Motorsports. You can find their contact information below, or look them up online, or look them up on our dealer locator. But Bellevue Motorsports is our Dealer of the Week. Guys, we want to thank you again for coming out today and taking their time and watching this video on your phone, on your computer, however you're watching it. Don't forget, you can also find us on almost all of the podcast stations. We're going to have a link in the bottom below to, if you want to just listen to it in your car, you want to listen to it on your phone, you don't want to watch the video, trust me, I wouldn't want to see this face either. So if you want to go find us out, find us on our podcast stations. We're on iTunes. I think we're on Spotify. We're on Podbean and so much more. But check the link below. You can find us there as well if you want to just listen to our podcast. I want to thank Always Naked for their intro and outro music. And you guys need to head to their new album. Always Naked just dropped a new album on Valentine's Day called Sex Sells. It is down in the description. You can go to Bandcamp. You can purchase the album for $10, which helps them out since they haven't been able to tour since all of the bars and all of the venues have been closed due to COVID. So please give them a hand. Go down, pick yourself up their album. There's 12 songs on it, 15 songs on it, and they all kick ass. So go down and check out Always Naked. Want to thank Brown Dog Wilson for his photos. I want to thank all the guys from Ricky Rogue to our dealerships, and I want to thank you again for stopping in, spending some time with us. And until next week, we will see you guys right here, same bat time, same bat station, right here on the Viral Nation.
Waking up 5 a.m. Gotta be at the track.